You're not built for this shit. When the internet first became popular, it was supposed to be a tool of information and education, a tool for connection in a way that was never possible before. And though the internet's become just that, it's also grown into something much more sinister than we could have ever expected.
We colonized the entire earth. There was no other place for the businesses and capitalism to expand into, and then they realized human attention. That they are now trying to colonize every minute of your life.
For anyone who's chronically online like most of our generation, Brainrot isn't a new concept, but I think the effects of the content you consume day to day on who you are stronger than we like to believe. When I was younger, my dad would always tell me, be careful who you hang around with. If your friends were jumping off a bridge, would you do it? Just because your friends are doing it doesn't mean you have to do it as well. If you see your friends doing dumb things, leave them to it.
We've all heard the saying, you are the people you surround yourself with. But what's more true right now is, you are the media you consume. The music, the language, the actions. Our brains are information sponges, and the media you consume is no different.
We constantly see huge changes in societal behaviours and language based on current internet culture. Words like Riz, Huzz, Aura have pierced their way into the average Gen Z and Alpha's vocabulary. There's a constant undercurrent in the content that we tend to miss out on. Politics, the personal, the beliefs that can be built through an algorithm that only serves the purpose of keeping you engaged. All it takes is one rabbit hole to shift your reality, and in turn, your entire identity. The interesting thing about rabbit holes is you never know when you're in one. I mean, when it's dark, you can't see anything else, right? Whenever you're consuming content, the net's influence subtly slips into your mind. The more you use it, the more you understand its culture. But the deeper you go, the more it affects your mind. The question is, if you are what you consume, what does it make you when all you do is consume complete shit? We always hear the term brain rot, but what is it really? When I try to research it, it always comes up with something quite vague. Is it the content, or is it the effects on the viewer? If brain rot content is the garbage you watch to pass time, the processed food of entertainment, then what are the qualifiers to have brain rot as a viewer? Let me introduce to you the 3 symptoms of brain rot. The inability to exist without constant stimulation. Eating, shitting, even sleeping. You can't live without the soft hum of content. The constant battle between creation and consumption. You know what you need to do, but you can't because you're trapped in a cycle of content. Whenever you pick up your phone, you forget everything that you were doing, only to snap back to reality and ask yourself, what am I doing here? Most of the time we think that brain rot comes as a result of the content we watch, but what if I told you it's baked into the system itself, and it goes much deeper? In 1964, in his book, Understanding the Media, the Extension of Man, the Canadian communication theorist Marshall McLuhan coined the phrase, "The medium is the message." 60 years later, it's become very clear that this book was nothing less than a prophecy. In the prologue of The Shallows by Nicholas Carr, he quotes McLuhan multiple times. McLuhan understood that whenever a new medium comes along, people naturally get caught up in the information, the content. They care about the news in the newspaper, the music on the radio, and the shows on the TV. The technology of the medium disappears behind whatever flows through it. When people start debating whether or not the medium's effects are good or bad, it's the content they talk about. What miss is what McLuhan saw, that the medium's content matters less than the medium itself in influencing how we think and act. As our window onto the world and onto ourselves, a popular medium molds what we see and how we see it. And eventually, if we use it enough, it changes who we are as individuals and as a society. The effects of technology do not occur at the level of opinions and concepts. Rather, they alter patterns of perception slowly and without any resistance. The media works as magic on the nervous system itself. Our focus on a medium's content blinds us to the deeper effects. We're too busy being dazzled and disturbed by the content to notice what's going on inside our heads. We pretend the technology itself doesn't matter, it's how we use it that matters. We tell ourselves we're in control. The technology is just a tool. But McLuhan understood something deeper. Every new medium changes us. The content of the medium is just the juicy piece of meat carried by the burglar to distract the watchdog of the mind. So while we sit and argue about what content we should be consuming, the deeper effects have already taken root in our brains. Throughout all of human history, tools have come into existence that have fundamentally changed the way humans act and think within the world. Technologies are not mere exterior aids, but internal transformations of consciousness. And nothing has seemingly had more of an effect on our mind than these tiny devices we hold in our hands. We all tend to think we're the exception to the rule. I wouldn't be addicted to anything, let alone my phone. But what if I told you your mind is already under control? We live in an attention economy. Everything is fighting for just a moment of your time. Companies are incentivized to keep you mindlessly scrolling for as long as humanly possible, and they'll do anything to keep you hooked. But before I tell you how they do it, I want to introduce you to neuroplasticity. It's defined as the ability of the nervous system to change its activity in response to intrinsic or extrinsic stimuli. What this really means is your brain has the ability to change its structure by forming new neural connections through your thoughts or actions over time. 1995, Pascal Leon conducts experiment monitoring brain activities of two separate groups playing piano. Group 1 plays melody, Group 2 only thinks it. He finds same brain activity in both groups. We become neurologically what we think and do, and big tech companies have understood this simple concept and use it to keep you addicted. Our brains have evolved over tens of thousands of years to get to this point. We're designed to live in a primitive world. But now our brains have been studied, poked and prodded, and are now understood on a deeper level than ever before. Big tech companies use neurological tactics to change your brain chemistry into that of an addict's. Companies employ attention engineers who use the same concepts as casinos to keep you hooked on your phone. It's called slot machine theory. Slot machines and social media show an intrinsic design philosophy centered on instant gratification. The comparison between slot machines and social media isn't just a curious observation, but a crucial insight on how digital experiences are shaped to capture and retain our attention. Slot machines, with their bright lights, attention-grabbing sounds, and the potential for immediate rewards, are designed to offer a quick dopamine rush. Similarly, social media provides instant gratification through likes, comments, and shares, triggering those same reward pathways in the brain. When we start looking at the similarities between our phones and casinos, it becomes a bit too obvious. Things that would have been considered tinfoil hat behavior a few decades ago are now an everyday reality. Government monitoring, control, and a lack of privacy. We have to understand that nothing we do on our phones or online is private. At every moment, they're carefully monitoring, scanning, and measuring our data. They know what we're looking at and how long we're looking at it. They know our sleeping patterns, our age, politics, beliefs, emotional state, personality type, everything. Not just everything you do, but everything you've ever done online. Every share, every like, every comment, every message. These contribute to a digital version of you that solely exists to feed that. They have more data on us now than any other time in human history. We live our lives under the guise of freedom, when in reality, everything's perfectly curated to keep us plugged in. Big tech companies have three main goals. 1. Engagement, to make sure you stay on the app for as long as possible. 2. Growth, to make sure new people are always flowing in. 3. Revenue, to make sure they're making as much money as possible from you through targeted ads. All this is run by an algorithm that knows your online identity better than you. I mean, you can't even remember the video you scrolled past 5 minutes ago on TikTok. It's a cycle. Companies collect our data and feed it to an algorithm, and as time goes on, it understands more and more about who you are and what you're likely to do. It builds a digital version of all of us. If the algorithm notices you're susceptible to conspiracy theories, here you go. If it senses you're insecure about your masculinity, here you go. If it senses that you're lonely, here you go. It's all perfectly engineered, and you're nothing but a puppet. We all like to think we have power, but the algorithm, it's really in control of everything you see and do. As long as advertisers get them paid, big tech are happy. And as long as you're pacified by the constant consumption of content, you're the perfect victim. We're all lab rats for the algorithm's unending learning. You are the drug that seduces your own mind into addiction. Even my thumbnails are being tested on you right now. The only difference between me and them is I'm just a guy. And they're massive corporations whose sole purpose is to co-opt your mind so they can bleed you dry and make as much money as possible. Nothing much. I could tell you why your phone addiction is going to stop you from becoming who you want to be, doing the things you want to do, and fill you with regret. But the truth is, there's probably nothing I can say or do that can change who you've become, who we've all become. When your brain is on a constant high, it makes everything dull. The lack of stimulation makes the real world boring, and it kind of locks you in this loop of consumption that stops you from enjoying anything that's real. Addiction isn't something that's built overnight. It takes repetitive action to form, and it takes repetitive action to break.
The reason I made this video was this.
The average 18-year-old in the United States is on pace to spend 93% of their remaining free time looking at a screen.
The average 18-year-old will spend the next 26 years behind a screen. And that shit scares me, honestly. And it made me reflect on the person that I would like to be. You can either create or you consume. And I know wholeheartedly what I'd rather do. I think that all it really takes is a realization that we have the control of our own reality and taking the power back from these corporations that have basically turned us into scrolling zombies. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've got it all figured out, because I really don't. I'm not gonna act like there aren't vices in place that stop you from creating your desired reality. But you have the power to create the person you wanna be. All it takes is one decision at a time.
Get off Instagram. We get off Twitter. And guess who loses power? These people in power. Puppeteers. They lose it. They need us to be addicted to these things. They need us to be loved onto these things. They need it to make money. They need it to make influence. Imagine if we got off and started engaging with actual community around us. Engaging with the people around us. Making friends. Building community again. I'm sitting in front of a church. Finding spirituality again. Whatever that looks like for you. We could do that. And not only would they lose their power, but you will regain your power. You will regain your power in your life. You will reclaim your time. I said in my original video, what if you get to the end of your life and you realize that you spent 40, 50, 60% of it on the line?
Slot machines and social media show an intrinsic design philosophy. Slot machines and social media show an intrinsic design philosophy. Intrinsic fuck, man. Slot machines and social media show an intrinsic design philosophy based on fuck. So close, bro. So close.